Yo, what up, Hyperchange? We are live streaming. I every single day Tesla keeps going higher. I don't know what to say. I mean, this is blowing away all of my expectations. Today, the stock, I'm going to pull up the stock right now, but most of you, if you're watching, you know this. The stock today hit $1,208 per share. This is up 8% to the day, almost $100 up today. This added probably like $100 billion in market cap to the company. They're now trading at about 1.4 billion fully diluted, and I'm using about 1.2 billion as the outstanding share count times another 1.2. It's almost 1.5 billion if you assume the fully diluted share count, Elon's stock comp plus a little more dilution. I like to be on the safe side. So Tesla stock has hit this unbelievable milestone of 1.4, 1.5, over $1 trillion, let's call it. I want to talk about if I'm selling or not because, there's a guarantee I would not be selling my Tesla stock at all if I didn't need money. I would be holding it. Tesla's by far my largest investment position, but I did think about selling it today. So I want to talk about why, mostly because I'm in a little bit of debt because I invested in SpaceX, so I want to pay that off. So I'm kind of deciding if I should sell my Tesla stock to do that. I would have to sell a chunk of my Tesla. It would still be my largest position. But frankly, this is what I'm thinking through right now. And we have a company that's appreciated. I mean, it's insane. It's up 800%, or up 201% just this year alone. In the past 5 years, it's up 3,000%. I mean, this is one of the most rapidly, it's just Tesla stock to the moon. I mean, this is blowing, and it seems like every single day the momentum's there. You have people like Ron Barron saying they're holding, Gene Munster saying he's holding. Everybody is switching to the pendulum of bullish on Tesla. I think it's remembering the Warren Buffett quote, be greedy when others are fearful, be fearful when others are greedy. I don't want to say everyone's being greedy with Tesla stock, but that is the thing. You can't have a company's equity price go up forever in a straight line, although maybe Tesla will reach the value of all of humanity with the Tesla bot. And I know some people think that, but it literally can't keep going up forever. So right now at 1.5 trillion, Tesla's already one of the world's largest companies, putting up there with Amazon, Apple, in terms of market cap. We can even go to Hypercharts actually and look at all the top companies by market cap. Let me do this logged out of Hypercharts really quick just so I can show y'all. This is going to be cool. I'm going to open this up for questions. We're going to do this quick, by the way. I have a financial model we're going to check out. I did some back of napkin math. This is Hypercharts. And so this, I logged out just so you can see, but this is the most biggest companies that we have on Hypercharts per market cap. So you can see Tesla right here, just behind Amazon, Alphabet, Apple, Microsoft, way lower financials, much less profit than these companies, much less revenue, but valued in the same echelon. One of the world's largest companies, worth more than Bitcoin. You look at companies like Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's company, we're double Berkshire Hathaway, we're double Nvidia, we're more than double, Visa, Johnson. Look at this, Walmart, we're triple Walmart, we're quadruple the size of Bank of America, Procter & Gamble. So this is just to put into context how large Tesla stock is. You've probably seen these examples of Tesla stock, like you see these charts that it's like Tesla stock is worth $1 trillion. Literally every other automotive company combined is not even worth as much as Tesla stock. How could this be possible? Tesla's changing the mold. They're more profitable than ever. So I just did this back on napkin math. I think this is it made me feel more comfortable. And there's a link below in the live stream if you want to click and check this out yourself. I do eventually think Tesla's going to 10 trillion, and I'm putting out an epic video about that, so you should subscribe if you haven't already, but that's going to take a while. So I want to think, what's the, a stock price is, the stock market's a voting machine in the short term. It's all over the place. It's just voting on what people think. Euphoria, it's going to be way higher than the intrinsic value at some moments, way lower. But at the end of the day, the stock market's a weighing machine. It's going to figure out what's the true intrinsic value, the true weight of Tesla stock, and it's going to normalize to that. So what do you think Tesla stock's worth today? This is so important. If you're investing in this company, you can't, everything's got a price, right? This is a super rough calculation that I crunched, assuming only the car business, which I know is not perfect, but basically saying, let's think about how big Tesla can get. And Elon and the team have laid out very clear goals for us. So we know that they want to hit 10 million cars, eventually 20 million cars sold. So I've just scaled this up. I think this is kind of reasonable. We have a little bit of a slower growth next year to 1.4 million because the new factories are getting off the ground. It's going to take a while. They're going to hit their stride in 2023. We more than double production. Then we go up 2 million. Then we go up 2.5 million a year, all the way to 20 million cars a year by 2030. I think this is about what Tesla's internal projections are. I don't want to say this is reasonable or exciting or a bear case. I think this is fairly just what I think is going to happen. This is the reasonable number, but this is in a good position. So Tesla right now at $1.5 trillion, you might be like, okay, that's about 20 times next year's revenue. But frankly, 20 times next year's revenue is not that crazy when you think about all these other companies that are trading at 20 times revenue. They're software companies, so they're SaaS, so they get a higher multiple, but they're not even making money. Tesla's actually making money. You know, they have a solid 10% operating margin this year. They're profitable and they're at 20 times forward sales. So if you look at the lens of the market, and I hate to use comparables because we could be in a euphoric time, everything can pull back. But the fact is 20 times price sales for a super profitable business with massive growth going ahead is kind of the norm. So I think that in context doesn't make me think Tesla's crazy. But I tried to sort of play out this theory of the Apple of the automotive world. What happens if Tesla scales to 44% gross margins and 24% operating margins while keeping their average selling price per car at about $44,000? So this is a complex, a gazillion assumptions are going into this, but I boil down entire Tesla's bull thesis to this, which is a combination of dropping prices on the vehicle of the hardware cost, but increasing prices of full self-driving for a blended average revenue per car of about $45,000. I don't know if that assumes full robotaxi or not. It's kind of in between. I would say full robotaxi is better than this. No robotaxi is a little bit worse than this. So I'm in the middle. But $44,000 in revenue a car with 44% gross margin at 20 million cars. We're looking at $890 billion in revenue here with $213 billion in profit. So I think they can do a little bit better than this if they crush robotaxi, a little bit worse if they don't, just to keep in mind. So 1.5 trillion for an asset that's doing 200 billion in potential earnings in 8 years or 10 years. I think, okay, so the problem is I see a path for Tesla to look very cheap at 1.5 trillion. I don't see that path happening for at least 5 years. I think they're going to hit 10 million units. I think that's in the bag. 10 million units, this is around 100 billion in earnings. I think that's kind of the rough back of napkin math. So, you know, in 5 years, they're doing 100 billion in earnings. We're only paying 10 or 12, 15 times that earnings now. You know, what are interest rates in the future? What is the growth trajectory when we hit 10 million units? What is the stock market valuing growth companies like Tesla? That is so many questions that you are relying on when you hold Tesla stock. So I think when I boil it down to Tesla stock here, I'd say, okay, the car business is fairly priced 5 years out at a $1.5 trillion company. Maybe it goes up to $2 trillion company or to 2.5, $3 trillion company. $4 trillion company in the year 2030 with these type of revenue numbers. So the problem here with saying, okay, the car business is going to be worth 1.5 trillion today, going to 4 trillion in 8 years, is you have 8 years of risk. What's the market going to think in those 8 years? Is the chip shortage get worse and Tesla misses a quarter? Is there some problem with the 4680 getting Austin off the ground? Is FSD go through a headache because, you know, the press takes out of context some sort of incident that occurs? There's so and then it becomes a cost of capital thing. Like if all of this success of Tesla's priced in, getting to 10 million units, you're just holding this equity waiting for them to hit that 10 million units. And then you're betting on how the market will perceive Tesla at those 10 million units. So I think, I don't know, my gut tells me still, and I know I've been saying this for a little bit and we keep going up 20%, I feel like we're super fairly valued right now. Like we are pricing it, it's an incredible business with a crazy amount of growth priced ahead. We're giving it a high multiple. You have incredible optionality here. When you think about Elon Musk as the greatest inventor of all time, what will he invent next? Incredible optionality there for even further upside beyond the car business. And this is just the car business. So once you have energy and you have the new Megapack factory, I think energy is another $1 trillion opportunity that's just in its infancy here. We can go to the hypercharts of Tesla to show y'all a little bit about that. But the energy business is still in its infancy. And so I think if the energy business starts scaling like crazy, I'm just going to pull this up for y'all really quick. Energy business is only at 800 billion a year. If this starts scaling like crazy to billions and billions, I wasn't even including this in my estimate, then you have to layer that in as well. So I don't know. Part of me is thinking this can't go on forever. We're getting a little bit out of our shoes. But then I keep going back to the numbers being like, oh my God, Tesla has proven that it is incredibly profitable, that they can justify. I think, you know, we're at a $56 billion run rate in Q4, maybe $60 billion run rate right now, like literally today. So when you think about Tesla, $60 billion run rate, but this is going to be $100 billion very quickly. You get Austin, Berlin off the ground. I think $100 billion is almost in the bag with just Model Y expansion and Shanghai expansion. So you think about that and you say, okay, 1.5 trillion for a thing that's about to be doing $100 billion. They're going to be making 15 billion in profit on that with savage growth ahead. And then you have so I don't know. My gut tells me it's fairly valued here, but we go up another 30%, another 40%, and we're starting to hit $2 trillion in a fully diluted basis. I think the stock's getting a little bit ahead of itself here. So I don't know. This is just me kind of talking through my thought process, but I think it's super important. You know, my average cost on Tesla is 20x below this, literally made 20x my money. So I'm coming at it from that lens. Every day you don't sell is a day you're basically saying you want to buy. And my difficulty, and this is my personal situation, like if I wasn't in debt, I would not be thinking about selling Tesla. So keep that in mind. I'm in debt and I'm still not selling Tesla, but I'm documenting my journey open sourcing here. And I'm just trying to put things in context and say, I don't know, if Tesla goes up another 20%, I might be selling. I'm saying that here first, even before I actually do it. But I just think because for my financial situation, that's what has to happen. But it can't go up forever. You need to have that number in your head. What is the fair value? Why? And I think this is so important. And I feel like we're getting a little bit carried away right now just because Tesla is already valued as one of and I think it should be one of the biggest companies in the world and will be potentially the largest company in the entire world. But it's how many years does it take for the financials and fundamentals to backfill into that? And what risk are you holding throughout the time duration that it will take for them to execute into that? And so these are very important things when you think about your financial situation here. I'm going to pull up a couple more notes I have. This is going to be a quick live stream. Just wanted to fill y'all in on my schemes here. Bitcoin is worth 1.12 trillion, 1.12 trillion. So I think it's interesting to see Tesla and Bitcoin almost be equally valuable. And when I think about Tesla's real world traction versus Bitcoin, Tesla's real tangible value in the world versus Bitcoin, I don't know. I'm like, maybe I should sell my Bitcoin instead of Tesla, right? Because I think Tesla's such a much bigger idea. And anyway, to wrap this up, unless you have any questions, let me know. I just wanted to put this out there. Tesla, I believe, is fully valued. We at $1.5 trillion today. We are pricing in an 8 to 10 million car business with significant software revenue embedded in that. So Tesla today, and I think there's no question they'll get there, but we're only at 1 million cars today. You're pricing in an 8x. And so the question that you need to ask yourself as an investor is how much do you let the market price in before you think your capital could be making you more money elsewhere? And that's all it is. And I think the last thing I'll end this on is the reason why I love Tesla, it's by far my biggest investment, is I've done so much homework. I've been studying this company for 10 years, made hundreds of videos about it, visited all their factories, like talked to so many people that work there. I own the product. I'm obsessed with it. My conviction. This is a really important thing as an investor. It's not just about what you think will go up more. Multiply your percentage upside in a potential investment times your conviction level in that investment. You know, yes, I think there's things that could go up 100x, but my certainty at which I believe those will go up 100x is a lot less. I have 100x more certainty that Tesla will go up 5x. So that's why I'm holding on to Tesla. So I think that's super duper important here. And I'm kind of trying to like give a dose of sobriety and reality. I mean, obviously I'm insanely hyped. Having your stock go up 20x is unprecedented. Seeing Tesla want to be one of the biggest companies in the world is like a dream come true for me. And I think just like such an epic, inspiring moment for us all. But you got to be scheming on the financials behind it and the math behind it. Always keep that in mind. Always be scheming on that. So I have to run to a call. We're going to keep scheming. I'm going to come out with another Tesla video soon. Subscribe if you haven't already. I love y'all. Have an epic day. Congrats if you are hodling your Tesla stock and it is through the roof. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. I think we're fairly valued for 10 million. You're betting on energy execution. You're betting on 20 million. You're betting on FSD. You're betting on Tesla bots. Those layers of options on top of the equity price are what's going to drive incremental upside from here on out. You got to crunch those numbers. Check out the spreadsheet. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and maybe I'll make another deeper dive video on the numbers.